TopMedTalk. And welcome to TopMedTalk Down Under. I'm Andy Cumpstey and I'm here with my co-host Kate Leslie at the Australian and New Zealand College of Anaesthetists and Faculty of Pain Medicine annual scientific meeting in Brisbane, the biggest annual anaesthesia conference in the region. We're expecting nearly 2,000 delegates here this weekend. And we've got a really exciting and full programme of scientific and social events coming up. It's really great to be here, isn't it, Kate?
Totally is. It's wonderful to be back in the trade exhibition. There's a real buzz. People looking at the products and lining up for coffee and having a stack and catching up with people they haven't seen for years.
Absolutely.
So fantastic.
So we've just come straight out of a really exciting opening plenary session. The big booths around us are all filling up with people now coming up for those plenary sessions.
Yes.
And so we're right next to a very large and growing queue of people waiting for coffee. But more importantly than that, we've got our first guests with us, haven't we?
We have. So we've got some great interviews. We're going to put the links up of them on the ANZCA website through the newsletter and also on the TopMedTalk app, on our YouTube channel, through X and Facebook. So we're really excited about you joining the conversation. And now we've got ANZCA President Chris Cokis and FPM Dean Kieran Davis here with us to talk about their experience with being the president and the dean and also how they're enjoying the conference. So we'll start with you, Chris. Can you briefly introduce yourself to our listeners?
So I'm Chris Cokis. I'm the president of the Australian New Zealand College of Anaesthetists, and I have been for almost 2 years, but I stepped down in about 4 days. The conference has only just started, but Kieran and I have both been to the Emerging Leaders Conference, which is just a great little gem of a meeting that we have before the ASM, where emerging leaders get together. We sort of cocoon for 2 days, and then we kind of just, talk about things that are quite difficult to talk about otherwise. And that's just been great. So at the end of it, I have to say I felt quite mentally and physically exhausted. And then got here and it all just kicks off again.
It's fantastic. And Kieran, can you tell us a bit about yourself and how long you've got to go as FPM Dean?
Yeah, I'm Kieran Davis. I'm the Dean of the Faculty of Pain Medicine. I'm from Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland in New Zealand. And I've got 28 hours left. Not that I'm counting.
No, you're counting down.
But I have to say, I've enjoyed absolutely every minute of being the Dean of the Faculty. Our faculty was the first Faculty of Pain Medicine. It is still, in my view, the leading Faculty of Pain Medicine around the world. And people always talk about honour, but they never say how much. I've really enjoyed it, thoroughly enjoyed it.
And you mentioned today a giant in pain medicine, Professor Michael Cousins. Would you like? I think it would be appropriate for us to reflect on him.
Without Michael, we would not have had the faculty when we did. There's a couple of tales people have told me over the last few days. One was that in the 3-month lead-up, he had the head of all of the colleges' phone numbers on his dashboard of his car. And every night when he drove home, he phoned them all individually to go, "How's it going? We're still on board. Are you still happy?" And when he got to ANZCA Council, he locked the door, and he said, "You will not be leaving until you have founded the faculty." So, Michael, thank you.
Yeah.
Amazing.
For our listeners at home, I know we've just mentioned it in the plenary session, but is it worth mentioning the events yesterday and Michael's funeral and with the kind of poignancy of this day really as well?
It was our symposium yesterday, and it was Michael's funeral in Sydney. Several of our fellows actually missed the symposium because they wanted to be there at the funeral and came late for our reception. Apparently it was standing room only. Yeah. And it was a good send-off. And we're going to be connecting with the family to do a biography for Michael to celebrate what he achieved.
Yeah, fantastic. So I think that, really poignant time for all of us here today to be kind of remembering Michael. I think maybe for the benefit of our international listeners, could you perhaps just summarise what your roles involved in the college?
Sure. What you come to realise, you don't necessarily know this when you begin, is that the way I see it, there are 3 roles for the president. One is that you're chair of the board, which means that you're essentially chair of an organisation. And, our college is a reasonably big organisation, and your responsibility is to keep an eye on the CEO and manage the CEO and make sure the business is going very well. And we're very lucky we've got a good CEO. The second aspect is really to chair the board meetings, the council meetings that we have, and try and get the best possible outcomes that we can get when we have those discussions. And we've had a number of issues that we've had to discuss. Debate was often heated at times, but we sort of got there in the end. And the last aspect, which I think is the most pleasing, which is what we're doing here, is just engaging with the fellows, the trainees and SIMGs. I just love that aspect of it. I've enjoyed that.
You launched a qualification in perioperative medicine this year, which is very relevant to our listeners. Can you tell us a bit about that?
It was launched on my watch, but I have had I have to say, my involvement has been very low. It is, and Michael Cousins, interestingly, was the visionary, almost 20 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Who saw perioperative medicine as the future for anaesthesia and medicine. So we finally culminated in a qualification that we have that's really up to speed this year. We have a number of people who already engaged in it, and we're looking forward to see how it all finishes.
So how many have engaged with that program so far already then, roughly?
Well, we have almost 1,000 people who have been recognised as perioperative medicine experts, and they will form the faculty for the next group of people who do the qualification.
I'm sure many of our listeners would be interested in that program, but how is that something they could get involved in if they wanted to? Or
we're looking at eligibility at the moment. So it has 3 components. It has a hospital attachment, it has weekends of tutorials, and then it has an online component as well, 6 modules. So it's multi sort of facet.
Excellent. Yeah, great.
And what's been the highlight of your deanship, Kieran?
Well, before I say that, I want to, Chris said he did very little. He was steering the ship so beautifully and calmly, it looked like he was doing nothing.
I'm hugging Kieran.
Yeah, Kieran is getting a hug.
Look, Chris has said a lot about what it is to be, the head of your specialty. But also with pain medicine, we're a very young specialty, and it just advocating for our fellows and for the 1 in 5 Australians who suffer and New Zealanders who suffer from chronic pain to get better healthcare, get better services. And we're often going into ministerial or governmental organisations and not arguing just for more doctors, but for more allied health, more nursing, more clinics, more facilities, in metro Australia, rural Australia, cities around New Zealand. So I think the highlight is, fighting that fight that Michael started 25 years ago. Yeah.
It's fantastic. In particular in New Zealand, you're working with the Maori people, and in Australia we're with the Indigenous people of Australia. Are there any particular issues you've been able to make headway with there?
In New Zealand we've got a model of care that we've created. The next step of delivering it has been a little bit on the rocky side with the changing healthcare environment, but it sounds awful. We're in the third trench of clinicians to create clinical networks. You go, we're the third. 25 years ago, we wouldn't have even got a mention. So we are actually recognised as an area that needs support and clinician involvement in delivering healthcare.
Well, that's fantastic. We've only got a short time to talk to you today because we've got to go to some great talks coming up.
So it's us. We're busy. Not you guys.
No, it's us, Chris. No, the President and the Dean are incredibly busy during the conference, and it's a wonderful time, I remember from when I was President, of actually getting a bit back from the fellowship about how you've helped them give high-quality care to their patients. So thanks once again, everybody, for tuning in to TopMedTalk. We will have this podcast up on the newsletter and also on our website and Twitter. And we look forward to you joining the conversation with us about the great things happening at ANZCA in Brisbane. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
TopMedTalk. Thanks for downloading TopMedTalk. Don't forget to subscribe, check us out on YouTube, and of course on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook and X. Also, it's important to remember that TopMedTalk is the broadcasting arm of EBPOM, Evidence-Based Perioperative Medicine. We'd love you to find out more about that, and the way to do that is ebpom.org. Check out our website and find out about some of the incredible conferences we're going to be arranging across the year. ebpom.org.